What up? We're going to try this round two, guys. As you cop on, click in the comments where you're from. We're going to get BC on here. I don't know what the F is going on with my interwebs here in Utah. We live in the desert of Utah. Here we go. Let's try this again. Here we go, BC. Eight people on already. Can you hear me this time? Write yes if you can hear me this time.
Are we good to go?
You can hear me?
Yes.
Dude, I don't know what it is. Like, I will be 100% truthful to anyone that sees this video. The iPhone 7 Plus has been the absolute worst cell phone purchase of my entire life. I just got to get that out.
Really?
Dude, I never get service. What happens? It gets stuck between like Wi-Fi and cellular service. And my cellular service sucks everywhere. So it's connecting to the cellular with bad connection. So I just put it on airplane mode. Anyway.
Same thing happens with me.
Freaking through the interwebs. It's falling apart. It's on the edge of destruction. Hey, if you guys are popping on here, oh, yes, you can hear us. Put where you guys are from. And also, have you guys ever met BC before, ever followed him or heard of him? Go ahead and put that in the comments as well. So you're saying, what was your day look like today? What were you doing?
Good, man. 2 checks, 2 closings. Did the interview with James, who's a local rock star over here. He's doing really well. I've already gotten today, dude. I think I've already gotten like another 400 or 500 subscribers on YouTube so far today.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I've made about $2,000 on the side online so far today. So I would say it's a pretty good day so far.
So James Shelby, he interviewed you. You interviewed him. What was that all about?
They interviewed me. They have a new kind of show interview series that they're starting, him and one of his buddies, Cody. He's a lender. Oh, nice. And it's pretty interesting, man. They've released it. I know they're starting to push it big on YouTube and stuff, but they just started it, I think, about a month or 2 ago.
Is it his food thing that he's doing? Wasn't he doing some food show?
Well, he features a restaurant that he does it at, but it's actually more of like a entrepreneur realtor type thing.
Ah, cool. I thought that he was just going where there was like good like chili cheese dogs and like, oh, check out this chili cheese dog. That's cool. I interviewed him a while back. He's a pretty cool cat. I freaking invited him to our mastermind and he never joined. You should just be like, dude, join the mastermind, bro.
I know, seriously.
So 2 closings. What were the closings on?
2 listings. Okay. 2 listings. And
fucking internet.
Sorry, got a call. One of them actually was that was actually technically 3 because one of them was a list and then they bought 2, so it was 3 closings.
Oh, okay, so 3 closings in one day, and then you made $2,000 in online sales. So that's pretty awesome. Cool. We got Doug from Temecula. That's not too far from you, right? Temecula's just south, right?
Yeah, about an hour. Not too far.
And then he said, Jonathan Wells said he's heard of you and listened to some of your YouTube videos when he first got started, but then he unsubscribed and just started following me. I don't know what that's all about. Cool. So I want a couple topics I want to talk about. Is number one is, how have you had such massive growth since was it 2015 or 14 you got into real estate?
Like the middle or end of 2013 is when I got into real estate.
Oh, it's been that long now? Holy crap. You're getting
old. Almost 4 years, dude.
When did we started masterminding in 2015?
15, yeah.
So and that's really kind of where I've seen most of your growth. Where was your income, your revenue in 2015?
15 from real estate, about 250.
250. And did you have any other sources of income?
In 2015, no. That's the end of 2015 is when I said, okay, I need to supplement this and then have something else, whether it's real estate, online, or something else. And I really did not establish any of that until the end of December of 2015 or early 2016, like in January.
Cool. Let's time out 1 second. So we've got quite a few people on here coming on. Do me a favor and click the share button right now and enter to win a $5 Amazon gift card giveaway from Al Torre. So Al Torre will be giving that away. But do click the share button. And so 2 years forward, fast forward. What's your revenue? Let's talk 2016 revenue and anticipated on target for in 2017.
2016 total was around 400, and this year I'm probably going to clear closer to 550 or 600.
Nice, that's pretty cool. So, what has been the number one dramatic change in your to go from 2015 to 2017, and pretty much almost between doubling and tripling your income?
Well, it's been an addition of the passive and residual income, number one. Number two, proper money management. And number three has been changing my focus in my business from being a lone star, kind of like an employee, into a business owner.
Yeah.
And that mindset shift really has just allowed me to explode and explore other avenues and really just create the lifestyle that we've created.
I think it's important if you guys are looking at this to understand that there's two sides, and it's really explained in Rich Dad Poor Dad real well. The employee and self-employee type side of the quadrant, and then you've got the business owner and the investor side of the quadrant. If you really want to get to the investor side of the quadrant, because that gives you most freedom, you got to establish very solid businesses, because that's where your annual income can grow, and then you can buy assets and create assets. So cool, man. Let's talk YouTube. How in the fuck are you growing your YouTube so fast? I want to know what your magic secrets are.
Well, dude, it's I realize that when people look into our lives and they see our success, we do a lot of educational content, and I notice the average person just flat out doesn't care, or there's no entertainment factor to that. We could make a video on literally, here's the secret to become a millionaire, and it'll get 50 views, right? But if you show somebody a tour of your house in Utah where you live, it'll get 100,000 views. And I realized that you have to almost like lead with the prize and show people your lifestyle and what you're doing, because if you just talk about success, I think they think that you're like some entity that they can't connect with.
Yeah.
And when you give them a magnifying glass into your day-to-day life and what you're doing, and they see, okay, Colton's a real person. Bryan, wow, he's a real person. He drives around. He goes to the store just like I do. He goes to the gym. That's ultimately when people get to know you better. And that, I believe, is what opens up the floodgates. Because then, I started featuring cars, which is something I've always been into. But, we're taught in the real estate industry, at least I was, to, okay, you have to have your professional side, and then you have your other real version, right? Your two separate entities. And the more I fused them together, it seemed like the world just came running.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm super stoked about that you've done, is just like with the idea of pickup, you've then taken that social pattern and really learned it online digital. And like, I feel like I've got a good step on it, but man, I just love seeing what you're doing. And that's what I've come to realize. Like, I have to dedicate to two things. One is really mastering YouTube. And then number two is I've got to bring someone in that can do the work, because I'm just so busy as it is. Which, by the way, if you guys are in Layton area, Weber, Davis County, Utah, I am taking applications for a company, the WGR Media Company. We are hiring full-time, part to full-time. I'm open to options for social and digital media director, just to dominate that whole section. You're going to work hand in hand with me to create the plan and to execute it. So if you're interested, let me know. We are taking applications. So tell us about your most viewed YouTube video and what you did to get all those views, and how many views is it currently at?
I made a video where I went to the Fast and Furious house, the original one. Being a car nut and loving the Fast and Furious franchise, I said, you know what, I own a GTR too. Why not go to the house, make a video, and see what happens? And what's funny is that day there was a charity event, and I took small clips of the charity event, going to Toys R Us and getting the toy, right, that we were going to donate. I bought 2 toys, and I went to the Fast and Furious house later that day. And that video now, like 4 months later, has like 930,000 views or something like that. It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Nearly 1 million views. So if you guys are following here, if you have any questions, post them below. We're going to try and go through these as we get rocking and rolling. Oh, I see Stevie on there. She works her social media quite well. Congratulations. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up, and why we're talking about YouTube and why we're talking about digital currency, is because really, if you're not getting involved with it, if you're not already involved with it, you're going to really fall by the wayside as a business owner. Wouldn't you agree on that?
Absolutely, man. I mean, look at what we've done. Look at the talent that you've attracted through social media. Look how we got connected through social media. You know, it's really shrunk the world in a sense of the people who are really out there that really want to connect with the best people and who are out there pushing and shaking and moving. We're able to connect with each other much quicker and much faster and at a higher rate. And at the same time, it allows you to create different revenue streams and really explore avenues that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. Like if me and you create a product, we can instantly have it in front of the world versus before we had to promote it locally, have a seminar. Like, dude, those products that I create, the $97 programs, I on a bad release day, 24 hours, I'll sell at least 30. That's $3,000 created right there for a product that I know is great. But when you think about it, and that product stays there, you know, like I make thousands and thousands of dollars every month just from product sales. That's not including some other stuff, right? Yeah. You know, we have the mastermind, I have my 3 rentals, this and that. And it's like you start pushing all this stuff together and it all stemmed from social media and online.
So for you guys that are watching, it's important to understand that when someone releases a product like this, that there has to be massive value added, right? So for example, I just launched Financial Freedom Nation, and I really did it more out of like such huge demand for people asking me about it than like really excited about it, right? Not that I'm not excited about it now, because I see that I can help a lot of people in it. So step 1, get attention on you, get people noticing you, talking about you, or at least seeing you're interested. And I related this to Dylan, our mastermind partner. I'm like, dude, you got to step it up. You're going to fall by the wayside with your online game. But I said, think about this. You get enough content out there with enough value, and there are going to be some freaking weirdos that like to watch you. That's how I see it. There are weirdos that follow me because I'm a weird dude myself, right? I think it's cool that you can share that you're, no offense, BC, but you're nothing special. I'm nothing special. The only thing we did differently was start taking action and creating value for others. So what do you think about this idea of digital currency? Is there a limited amount? Is there like, can anyone get involved with it? Tell me your ideas on infopreneurship and digital currency.
I think it's unlimited, brother, you know, and you made a great point about saying we're not special. We're not. We just take more fucking action than everybody else. When everybody's sitting there saying, well, what am I going to do? And I need to come up with an idea. Me and you are out there, you know, pulling the trigger saying, oh shit. And then we fix it and we fail forward, as we say. And I think that the separating factor is, you know, the biggest thing I see with people is they'll have the idea or the concept. They'll release like 2 or 3 videos. And then because they don't get 1 million views, they stop. Right? I always tell people that approach me, I'm like, look, everybody's going to have their audience. You, Colton, you have an audience. Some of them will like me, some of them will hate me, and vice versa. Yeah. So if you have actual value in the marketplace with a product or videos or entertainment, you, through consistency, will build an audience, period. The only way you're not going to build an audience, I think, is if you're just not consistent, because that's the biggest determining factor I've seen that separates the successful people online from everybody else's. I've seen other people who maybe were more talented, right, not be as consistent, and the guy who was more consistent beat him out. And that's really the difference, dude, is me and you. If you come back to our channels and our Facebook, we're fucking pumping content every single day, whether we're sick. I know you have, 2 kids now. You have the wife. You have a whole different set of responsibilities than me, and you're still cranking out content, dude. Is it a surprise that you're dominating online?
Yeah. So keyword, consistent. And that should be in anything that you do. That must be in anything that you do. That's the same thing I'm learning as with my health and my nutrition, right? Like, I've been really consistent with that starting in November, but extremely consistent since January 18th. And what I realize is I haven't been thinking about it lately. I've just been doing it. Like, it's just, I gotta go do this, right? It's a must. Right. And like all of a sudden the results are little by little stacking up. So the longer you do that consistent activity and you improve that activity, the bigger the results grow. That's compound interest. So, and I talk about your friend or your enemy, the longer you wait to start the consistent action, the longer it's going to take to build that pattern, and you'll run out of time to do it, right? There's no instant success. Nothing happens overnight. If it appears like it is overnight, then you just haven't been paying close enough attention. Denny has a question. Do me a favor real quick, guys. If this creates any value for you, notify me by saying yes below, giving me a bunch of reactions, and also hit that share button if that helps you out. Denny asked, what does WGR mean? It stands originally for the world's greatest realtor. I started it when I first started getting into real estate, And came to find out it's actually a code of ethics violation to use the word realtor in a generic term like world's greatest realtor. So needless to say, I got a letter cease and desist from National Association of Realtors. So I switched it to the WGR, and that's what I've been branded as. I mean, I walk into Costco and people say the WGR instead of my name now. So it's like, all right, cool, WGR it is. So that's why we launched the WGR Media Company, because really our online company is growing so fast, marketing for my sales team and for our online products. It's just, we got to have someone for that spot. So great question. What would you give to advice for people that are watching this?
Based on the questions that I get, and I know the questions you get, it would just be 2 words: get started. You know, I have people who've been following me, and I'm sure you have too, Colton, for 2, 3, maybe even more than those 2 or 3 years, who are still asking you the same questions, who are still in the same spot and haven't lifted a finger to take action. Dude, when I started, I had no idea if I'd be successful or not in real estate. I just saw that the successful people were cold calling and door knocking and all that. So I said, okay, I'm going to commit to it. I'll figure everything else out later. And for the first year and a half before I really broke out onto the scene, I was just doing minimum 200 dials a day and 100 doors a day, like over and over and over and over. And did I fail in the process? Yeah. Did I go through emotional ups and downs? Yeah. Was I doubted? Yes. Was I told I was never going to make it? Of course. But same thing with social media. You know, my YouTube videos have been coming out for 3 years now. And I just now, the last year, have really gotten traction. That's 2 years of consistent content, quality content, with no viewership, no subscribership. And finally now I'm getting traction. Now I've figured things out, but I could have easily quit after a year and I wouldn't be here, or a year and a half. But after that 2 years and I started getting momentum, I said, good, I deserve it now for the 2 years of consistent action. And that's really all it is, man. Like, it's not how talented you are, where you were born, who you know. It's, dude, are you willing to freaking commit, shut the hell up, and get to work?
Awesome, man. So I know Denny and 5 others have shared our video already, so we appreciate that. You guys sharing those videos, and keep sharing it. It helps get our content out there. So now that you're so strong with your digital currency and your digital marketing and influencer, I mean, there's so many names for it, but does that mean that your real estate sales business just stopped making phone calls? You don't need to make calls anymore?
Well, I'm almost to that point. It just has shifted from a necessity, like, oh, I need the next deal, to now it's just I do it because I enjoy doing it, and there's no scarcity pressure. It's more of an abundance now, right? I play more of a trainer role than I do an actual employee, but I do have it in my books in the next 12 to 18 months to 100% be out of it. I know we talked about the commitment at the mastermind. I'm already in talks of moving into the new office within the next 2 weeks for sure. So that process is about to start right now. So
let me rephrase that. So you're kind of phasing out of the calling, but does your sales business still make phone calls? Or did you stop that?
Yeah, we're still prospecting based and then, quote, digital marketing enhanced. So we're still 100% prospecting based for sure.
So write that down: prospecting based and digital marketing enhanced. I definitely know we're the same exact way, right? Like, doesn't matter if it's a FSBO, an expired, an online lead, door lead, referral. You have to have a conversation, right? Set up a meeting, give a presentation, knock their socks off, get a contract signed, and then exceed their expectations, just overperform on what you said you were going to do. So I think that's important for you guys watching. It's not one or the other, it's both. You have to have both, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, because, you know, if let's say you guys start dumping money into marketing and the call comes in and you don't have the know-how, what to say, how to say it, how are you going to close the deal?
Hey, Patrick said, I got tons of Sphere interaction just from sharing yesterday's live video. I assume you're talking about my live stream, but maybe you're talking about your own. You had people call and talk about it. Awesome, man. So what that just proves to me is because of the value that you can create just by sharing if you recognize value, right? That's why my mission, I share it all the time, is create massive value for everyone, empowered to take massive action, and then invite massive sharing of the value that's been created for you. Give the gifts you've been given, right?
Absolutely. I agree.
So what's kind of your goal to go from forward?
Well, real estate wise is in the next 12 to 18 months to be fully leveraged out, right? And additionally is I'm really gunning to grow my YouTube more because, you know, as I see the whole digital world really taking over, You know, it's funny, Colton, because I was in the Bay Area like a couple weeks ago, and I remember we were at a hotel, right, the Fairmont Hotel in San Jose, and I see this this venue is being rented out by, you know, some older people, and they're dancing and having a good time, and I see like 70-year-old people like Snapchatting on their phones, right? And it cracked me up because it dawned on me. I said, wow, like the world is shifting, right? And I could definitely see us within the next 5 to 7 years, us meaning the people who are actually going to grab on and grab the bulls by the horn as far as social media and YouTube. The more we dominate that world, the more I believe that we're just going to dominate whatever industry that we're in, because that's people's TV and like radio now, right? And I think if you're really not pushing for that, you're missing out. I mean, could you still survive and do well prospecting? Of course, but why not use something that I personally have built for free, right? I'm just now getting into Facebook ads and all that, guys. I didn't spend a penny to grow my YouTube and all that. I want to make that disclaimer,
yeah.
Right? So why not take advantage of a resource you have? Dude, when I go to the gym now, I can't even go to the gym without people approaching me, right? We're literally becoming like, I know you said you go to Costco and people like, you know, call you the WGR.
You go to the gym,
literally
go to Costco, you know?
Yeah, right. And you and you literally become like a local celebrity. So why not use something that is that powerful? You know,
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to get a, hey, dude, I've been watching on social media, come list my house, versus, hey, I have to compete with 6 other agents.
Yeah. Have you seen the YouTube channel Simple Pickup?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Check it out. It's really cool. So they took this idea of what they said is take your YouTube channel and pick your niche, and then find other niches and that are people that are successful in those niches and duplicate what they do with a twist. So obviously,
nice.
You know, humorous interviews have been pretty funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they did that with a twist, and they would go to bars and clubs at night, and as people are leaving and they're drunk, they interview drunk people for their YouTube channel, and they get like 15 million views. It's crazy, right?
Wow.
That's funny. They just barely launched a course called Jump Cut. And so I'm actually gonna be signed up for that, because I see it the same way with YouTube. It's like I got lucky from where I'm at so far. I just did shit and stuff happened, and I'm pretty smart with how do I create something out of nothing. So I started selling products. I figured out how to monetize it. Just imagine now if instead of me having 5,000 followers, subscribers, I've got 50,000. And I think what's important is of those subscribers, it doesn't really matter how many you have, but the key number they talk about is have 1,000 core people that are just stoked about what you're doing and what you're talking about, right. And they will be the best promoters and the best customers. And then you got to create value for them, right? So.
Absolutely, man. And the cool thing that I believe that me, you, and very few people actually have as part of our social media game, and this is the missing key ingredient, is that me and you, when we get behind the camera, we're entertaining. People forget that even if you educate somebody and you give them great information, if you don't entertain while you're doing it, you're not going to capture their attention, and you're not going to be perceived as like, oh man, I love this guy, right? They'll be like, okay, he has good stuff, but they're not going to stick around and watch it and promote your stuff. You have to have that element of entertainment.
That's why you wear those fucking glasses. It's not for the screen. You're fucking pulling mystery method right now, you little fucker.
There we go.
That's exactly
Peacocking.
what it is. So Denny Robert asked, hey, appreciate you being on, Denny. I know you follow quite a bit. Totally appreciate that. Ben, you hopped on. Ben Bertinoli actually starts with our sales team Monday morning. So congratulations to Ben for joining our organization. So do me a favor, Ben, and click that share button or you're fired. So let's answer some questions. And guys, click the share button. Give us some reactions so we know, as BC says, if this is entertaining and adding value for you. Continue to give us those reactions along the way, or we just don't know. We're just guessing. So Denny, what is the 20% in digital marketing that produces 80% of the results? What do you think, BC?
For sure, I would say the top 2 things for me are Facebook posts and YouTube videos, for sure. Specifically, when I make a real estate specific video, for sure is the biggest thing for me, because I notice they get shared the most, and the analytics on that are key, whether it's generating a flow for my real estate business as far as possible leads, and also for my online side for selling products.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So I think what's important to that too is these posts and these videos, what he talked about, it gets the most view. That's considered engagement. So how, when you structure a post, can you cause engagement? For me, what I've always done is my same philosophy in life is find someone that's doing it better than me, rip it off,
Yep.
and duplicate it with a twist, right? Like that's what's worked for
Yep.
me. If you want a certain physical result or outcome, find someone that's great at it and follow what they're doing. So that's what I've done, which by the way, my stream yesterday I did with Al Torrey Worldwide had over 200 comments on it. So that's a new victory for me, hitting 200 comments on one.
Wow.
So cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude. I mean, if you look at what I'm doing, man, I mean, look, all these products that I've created and stuff, I did exactly what you said. I looked at other people. Wow, this guy's killing it. I'm going to rip off the idea and use it, right? And now I see a bunch of people making products. I mean, me and you, I think we're pretty much the pioneers in that sense as far as mainstreaming, like real estate and sales-specific products in our own world.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people doing it.
Who else is doing products right now?
I saw Derek Lipsky. He came out with a product. James Festini did too. And I've been seeing more like sponsored Facebook ads of other realtors creating products, and it's popping up on my feed now. It's weird.
Those fags using Facebook ads or sponsored ads to do it. What dork.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Just so you know, I have just barely started to test with advertising. It's not even me doing it, it's Greg. And so far the results haven't been super awesome, but my funnel results have been super awesome. So,
that's awesome, man.
Matt Hell asked, question for BC. I'm taking my real estate classes now and getting my license next month. I want to go door-to-door knocking as soon as I get my license. The top three things to not do or say when door knocking, what are they?
Don't have closed body language.
What does that mean? What is closed body language? Just so people are understanding.
Well, a lot of people, when they door knock, they either like turn their back to the door. Some people actually, believe it or not, teach people turn your back, which is retarded, right?
Yeah.
They have their hands like in their pockets and they're closed like this, right? The more open you guys are, the less threatening you are. Another thing you need to do is smile. Nobody does this. Whenever I get door knocked by like the solar panel people, the religious people, I always check. Nobody's ever smiling. If you want people to open the door, smile. That's the best thing you can do, right? They took a poll, I remember. I think I found this in one of the pickup books, Colton, where they polled women like at bars, like what do you find, or what would you like a man to do when they approach you? And the number one most synonymous thing was smile, because it's perceived as less threatening. Other than that, man, the third thing I would tell you, pick a script, whatever it is, whether it's Fearless Agent, Mike Ferry, and stick to it, period.
I would recommend Fearless Agent from my point of view. So yesterday, I don't know if you saw, I posted about a solar guy came to my door. Yeah, he's probably 22 years old. And it was, I don't know, 6:30 at night. And here at 6:30 for Utah, it's probably 80 degrees. So it's kind of hot. And it sucks knocking doors at 6:30. I've done it before. So I was proud of him. I was stoked for him. But the first thing I said, what are you selling? He's like, solar. I'm like, fuck you. And that's because I think buying solar is a waste of money personally. However, he continued to push with his script, and I was super impressed with him. And so I think that's important, because you don't know who's going to be at the door, and you don't know who's going to be a buyer, or you don't even know how that person might change your life. I mean, I look at Jeremy Nutt that works on my sales team now. He was a for sale by owner. I called him up, interviewed with 17 other agents. Now he works with me. He's one of my business associates. So you never know what's going to come from it. It's all about taking that activity.
Absolutely, man. 100%.
And a note, if you guys want to smile more, walk around with a pen in your mouth. I don't have one I'd show you, and it starts to train the habit. I do that all the time when I'm by myself. It's kind of weird, but I'm a weird guy. Cool. Hey, thank you, Chance. I don't know how to say this. Claiborne, I think that's how you say it. Thank you for sharing our video. Remember, anyone that shares the video and mentions Al Torrey is going to be entered for an Amazon gift card. And he does give those out, just so you know. So Howard says, are you using Believe.tv app to do the split screen? No, I'm using the Facebook app to do the split screen. Have you heard of Facebook? It's this new thing, which, by the way, BC, have you bought stock in Facebook yet?
No, I haven't.
Have you bought it in Apple yet?
No.
Dude, you use Apple and Facebook like a monster. Become an owner and you will get rich. I promise you. I mean, add to what you're already doing. Get on board or get left behind. Costella, I think he means Casella is beast, but we'll call you Costella because that's what he wrote. Thanks, Larry. Mr. Costella. 50 comments. Oh, look, it's James Shelby himself. We were just talking about that man. Ben Burton, keep boy. Any other questions we're seeing here? What's the name of the YouTube channel again? What's your YouTube channel?
Just look up my name. Just put Bryan Casella. You'll find me. My handle for everything is at Bryan Casella. Everything will pop up.
Yep. So on my go search Colton Lindsay, and you'll see I'm the more handsome one on YouTube. So that's good. Yeah, Nathan wrote 1,000 true friends. Cool. 8 shares. So what else you want to talk about? Dude, I got a lot of people.
Well, I think shedding some light to the audience, Colton, about kind of the money management thing that you're doing and how important that is, I think is really going to help them, because I've talked to a lot of guys, and I was guilty of this too when I started. As I started making some money, and I was just blowing it. I'd make 10 grand and spend 9. I'd make 12 grand and spend 13, and I kept digging myself in a hole. And I think that's probably one of the most misunderstood things on this planet is money, what it's for, how to generate it, how to use it to grow. And, you know, because I remember being raised and being told money's the root of all evil. So I really think it.
Finish this phrase. Money's the root of all what?
Good.
Of all good. How did you grow up thinking, though, all evil? Now finish this phrase. Money doesn't grow on
trees.
Right? Who do you think I am? I don't know if you know this one.
No, I don't know that
the
one.
Rockefellers. Who do you think I am?
The Rockefellers.
Rich people get rich by doing what to others?
Helping,
right? But how did you grow up thinking it was?
Taking,
screwing people over, right? That's how I grew up. Like, if you were rich and had money, it's because you fucked someone over. Like, you're taking advantage.
Right.
Now I've learned it's like, no, you created massive value for someone. And I think
100%.
there's a difference between rich and world class, right? Because some rich people do take advantage of people, but world class people, they just serve.
Right.
What kind of products is Casella selling? If you guys have time to open up on that. Wait, before we go there, finish about the financial management that you were talking about. How has that enhanced your life in any way?
It transformed my life completely, Colton. I remember you had recommended the Millionaire Mindset Experience, and I had read The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and then it popped up in my head when I read it in the book. So I immediately put the book down, went to the computer, found the next local one, signed up, finished the book, went to the event, and it just shifted something. Seeing money differently. I started following the system.
Right.
And you know, we always joke around and say how you do anything is how you do everything. And I realized that was the one portion of my life that I kept like kind of pushing to the side, like, oh, it's okay. I thought it would handle itself. Like, we're all in denial.
Yeah.
Once I did that, everything shifted. Now, just my mindset, money flows in easily and frequently now. I remember that's an old adage you told me too. And just having a sense of 100% control. Before, I'd feel like a little nervous, like, oh, am I going to have enough money this month? Now it's like, it's taken care of. Like, I know I'm doing the right things. I have full control of it. And I just basically grabbed the bull by the horns and said, okay, I have to confront this. And it's transformed my life, man, as far as investments, you know, education, you know, the 55% for living expenses and all that. And following the model itself just gives you a sense of pride, because you're saying, I'm part of the small portion of the population who actually understands this, is following it, and is actually creating long-term wealth, not just living paycheck to paycheck. Right.
So that's how I learned about it as well, as the JAR system. That's how we created Financial Freedom Nation. It's a very my spin off of it and how I've used it and adapted it. So you guys, if you want more information about that, it's an 8-week course that I'm teaching on the exact way that I manage, and very similar to how BC manages the cash flow that flows in. It doesn't matter your income level, but it's the habit that's most important. How much of your revenue percentage-wise goes to your FFA account?
10%.
10%. Dude, I'm up to 15% now, and my goal is to get up to 30.
That's awesome, dude.
I just, like, what I realized is I started growing, like, as my revenue grew, the percentages obviously stay the same, so those dollar amounts got higher and higher. And I'm like, dude, I don't really, as far as me, like, I know you're stoked on cars. That's not really my thing. So it's like,
of course. Yeah.
What am I stoked about? I'm really stoked about investing, and I'm really stoked about traveling. So that's what I've been working on. And by the way, I took your advice, so I just am waiting for to finish up. I did a Costa Rica mini vlog, and then I'm having one built from the Hawaii trip as well. So traveling's what I'm in.
Sweet, man.
So that's what I'm gonna put out. So thank you.
That's awesome.
So Stevie, send me a message, or scroll down on my timeline later, and there's a link to register for it if you want to get on that.
By the way, Colton, I got a question for you. 2 questions. Number 1, what is the Real Estate Hustlers Mastermind? And number 2, is there any spots open?
Great question. So the Real Estate Hustlers Mastermind, it originally started with me and AJ. Might, if you don't know him, connect with him, and then Bryan Casella. So we were looking at the time, me and AJ were trying to mastermind with people that just weren't committed or were flaky. And we saw BC throughout one of his first YouTube videos was like, what's BC all about or something. I don't even remember what the topic was, but I was like, dude, who is this cat? He seems kind of interesting. Started talking about door knocking and prospecting, and we're like, let's connect with him. And I think I just randomly got your number somehow. I don't even know how I got it. I just called you up and said, hey, Bryan, this is Colton, Lindsay. Me and AJ wonder if you want to mastermind with us. Isn't that pretty much how it went?
Literally, yeah, word for word.
I don't know how I got your number looking back. Maybe I looked it up online or something. And I called you, and then we started masterminding. And, you know, I was chuckling with, I think it was Dylan yesterday. And do you remember our original masterminds were on Google Hangouts? Remember that?
Google Hangout.
Which
Yeah.
is important to have multiple platforms, because where's Google Hangouts now?
It's gone.
It's gone. It disappeared. It's not even exist. Another one, Blab, Periscope, right? So whatever you're picking for your systems, get something that is certain. YouTube is certain. Facebook is certain. Instagram, they're on track by the end of the year to hit 1 billion users. It's certain. Use the certain items. I'm not so sold on Snapchat yet, but Snapchat seems to be one that's really strong and consistent as well. So
yeah,
Real Estate Hustlers Mastermind. Since then, we went to the Tony Robbins event, UPW, October 2015. We were standing in line, and I remember we were standing with, like, what's his name, Josh Altman, and what was his brother's name? We were standing with them, kind of like, oh, dude, look, it's Altman brothers, right? And then talk to those guys, and we were like, dude, wouldn't it be awesome if we could just find a solid, ripping group of dudes like us, just ready to go on a higher level personally and financially and with business. And we said, dude, let's just launch a mastermind and charge people for it, because people that are not paying clearly aren't committed, but maybe if they pay for it, they'll be committed. And we launched it, and here we are a year and a half later, if not even a year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half later, 17 or 18, I think, solid members now. And ever since we instituted that membership, people went to a whole nother level. And, you know, it's funny, Antoine, do you know what he said about the Real Estate Hustlers event in San Diego?
No, I didn't catch it. What did he say?
He said that event, our mastermind, was actually more powerful for him than UPW. I have a hard time believing that, but I will take the comment, or the compliment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's really cool. So that's basically what it is. Right now we have 4 spots available. Logan just filled 1 spot. And you guys can apply, but go to apply.realestatehustlersmastermind.com. And we are considering accepting applications for infopreneurs or other business owners that might not be in real estate. So if you're not in real estate, consider applying, but we can't promise anything. We have to pass it by the rest of the group, because one thing that we're seeing happen is me and BC's had a lot of success online and with our digital products and what we've got going with coaching and training and stuff, is that our mastermind partners are wanting to learn that. And quite honestly, you'd be crazy not to apply it immediately. So, so yes, you can apply. Get into it. Let me know if you want to apply. I'll give you the link. James Shelby said, that's huge. So many people think people only get rich from scamming or ripping people off. Or my favorite, they probably inherited that money or they got lucky. Hey, dude, I've learned the harder I work, the luckier I get. So that's so freaking true. Bruno, I can see you guys are working on your health as well. Can you talk about that and the impact it has on your business? BC, talk about it. You're a vegan, 100% vegan. Nothing animal product now, right?
Yep.
Not even ice cream, dude.
Nope.
Dude, you get the
I don't scream for ice cream.
What about coconut ice cream?
I haven't had. I know there's vegan ice cream. I haven't tried it yet, man. I've been I told you guys, man. I don't know if you tried it yet. The vegan cream cheese, dude. It's a game changer. Have you tried it yet?
I haven't. I'm gonna go get that, dude. What do you eat?
Gotta get it, dude.
What do you eat it with? Rice cakes?
I could do it with chips, or sometimes I'll make like a little tortilla with some beans and rice, and I'll throw a little bit in there. It's so good, dude. So good.
Are you free as well?
Yes. It's great, man. I love the question, because I have measured, like going vegan, and then when I'm really on point with my health versus when I'm not. And it runs into everything. It goes back to how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're tight with your health and everything you're doing, it literally feeds into your daily schedule, your energy levels, you know, going to sleep on time, waking up on time. I find that I have more sustained energy. I don't have to sleep as much, more mental clarity. I feel more balance even in my emotional levels, like the way I react to certain things. It seems to be less intense. There's just overall more of a groundedness to your existence. I'm not saying you have to go vegan, but just watching what you eat, you know, the fluids that you ingest, not drinking soda and all that crap. I drink a lot of water.
How many ounces of water a day?
Oh, I go through the big jugs. I go through over 1 jug, and that's is that a gallon? The big jugs?
Yeah, what the big jug is.
Yeah, I would say I do at least a little bit over a gallon a day. So how many ounces are in a gallon? Do you remember?
128.
Okay, so I would say probably at least 140 or something like that.
Yeah, so
depending on my level of.
My target's
Do I what?
100 ounces, but I usually get like 150.
Yeah, okay, that's good. But yeah, I mean, that question, 100% difference. You know, when I'm not on it, or especially when I wasn't vegan, you know, it could affect my day. I wouldn't get to sleep on time. I have energy dips throughout the day. It 100% affects everything.
Yeah. So for me, it was like a life changer. And what happened for me was, especially November, I remember after the Mastermind in Charlotte, how fucking fat I was. And I stepped on the scale after Thanksgiving, and I saw it was like the most I ever weighed, almost 210 pounds. I was like, dude, fuck this. Like, this isn't my life. Not to mention, like, I had people in my neighborhood. You know, I just had a client, 28, a good friend of mine, 39. Like, I started seeing people kind of in my generation start to just die. And then I started looking at like people in their 50s and their 60s that were just really fat and unhealthy. And like, that was my future if I didn't do something about it. So I just made it the most important thing. God blessed me. And I started working one-on-one with Thomas. He helped me out with the smoothie shred. And for me, it was like, I had 32 years of bad habits that I had to unwind and break and recreate. And what was the quickest way I could do it with my lifestyle? It was the smoothie shred. It was drinking 1.5 pounds of green power greens every day and a lot of hydration, and still eating whatever I wanted. But then it naturally forced me to stop eating things that didn't make me feel good, if that makes sense. And one result for me is less fogginess and way more clarity. And it's actually caused me, before then I used to drink, not a lot, but regularly. And now I hardly ever drink at all. I had that one beer in San Diego, and then I had a glass of wine in February, and then I haven't drank since I think the Mastermind before that. It's just
that's awesome, man.
It's just not what I want.
That's what happens. Yeah.
So I would recommend you guys dominate your health and make it the most important. And I mean, you guys tell me, have you guys noticed a physical difference? Have you noticed any difference in me since I started it, or did I look the same as before?
Absolutely, man. You look completely different for sure.
Cool, man. Let's see what else we got. Have you guys looked at going with a brokerage like EXP? Seems like you guys could profit tremendously in the EXP model with multiple needs nationwide and help agents while doing it and get a huge profit pot. Basically, have you ever considered EXP? And if so, why? And if so, why not?
I haven't even looked into it. I know AJ joined EXP, but that hasn't even been on my mind. So I really don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, I've looked at it, and honestly, it just doesn't feel right for me. AJ's completely stoked on it. The way number one is I never am like super stoked about companies that do revenue shares. But then again, I haven't seen their books. I haven't seen their overhead. The other thing I would be concerned about, and I don't know how accurate this is, you guys can correct me if you're watching this. I heard that the revenue share actually only goes to a digital aspect for now, and you have to wait so long before you actually get that money. So that's kind of lame if you just have it to where you can't even have it. And then the third thing is it really reminds me of network marketing, which Keller Williams is as well, network marketing, but this seems like way more network marketing. And with that being said, building a residual income for me is really important. Passive in residual is really important. I've just been around enough network marketing to see that network marketing companies change their comp plans, or they go out of business, or whatever. So you really have no control ultimately of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree.
That's my thing. Matt said, Periscope is cool now that it posts on your Twitter account. Periscope is still around?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was around still. I thought they closed it down like Blab. Oh, look. Ronnie Phillip. Look at the troll Ronnie Phillip popping in. Apply.realestatehustlers.mastermind.com. Message me if you have any questions. Tag him in your application. BC is vegan. Never would have guessed that. Cool. Any other questions? If this has created value for you, click the what is that button? What button?
Share.
The share button and some reactions. And anything else you want to talk about, or should we give it a wrap?
I think that's good, man. I think we've given them more than they can chew right now, dude. I mean, I think we should do this more often. I think this is a great way for us to not only introduce everybody in the mastermind, but to constantly remind people and really share with them live how much we're improving, man. Like, look how much we've improved, not just the mastermind, but in our own lives over the last even just year or year and a half. Yeah. We're making leaps and bounds that most people by themselves, it would take them 5, 7, 10 years, or maybe even a lifetime to do. And we're doing it like this because we have a concentrated, powerful group of people who are in harmony after the same goal. And to me, there's nothing really more powerful than that.
I think it's really important too, as well, to point out, like, people look at me or you on social media, but it's really important to understand there's people that are with us helping us build this. It's not just me. It's not just BC, right? Like, I mean, I have just surrounded myself with really awesome and talented people like Jeremy Nutt, Garrett Allred, Vaughn Coloroso, Ben's joining us, working a lot with you in the Real Estate Hustlers Mastermind. Greg with my funnels. I work with Bob Leffler, Doreen Herman, Will Schneid. I mean, my team behind what I'm working on, I didn't do it myself, and BC didn't as well. So keep that in mind. It's not about you. It's a we thing. It's where we can go together.
Yep.
So
100%, man.
So just before we wrap up, if you have any buyers or sellers in LA, Orange County, California, get a hold of Team BC. He'll help you out. If you have buyers and sellers in Utah, get a hold of me or my team. We will definitely help you out. If you want ultimate, best, affordable, and effective coaching and training on the planet, go to Fearless Agent. Get signed up. Prices will be going up soon. If you want to check out BC's products, go to bryancasella.com/products. You can check out all of that. If anyone, for some weird reason, is moving to New Jersey, Dylan Burnett, or, which is probably more likely, you have a friend there that's moving out of New Jersey, get a hold of Dylan. He will help sell their something pretty quickly.
That's funny, man.
And then Real Estate Hustlers Mastermind. If you want to join, let us know. Logan just popped on. He's one of our newest members. I'm stoked for him. He's super amped right now. So cool. All right, man. We'll talk to you later, BC.
All right, brother. See ya.